Okay, so today we're going to learn about note values. And I know the camera is kind of in an awkward position right now, but I'm using my laptop, so the best way that I could actually write this stuff down and have you guys see it is with my laptop in this position. So, these are the notes that we learned so far. So, this note at the very top is, whoops, I almost spelled it wrong. Is a quarter note. Okay, so this one's a quarter note. This one is a half note. This one is similar to this one. They look the same. The only difference is there's a dot beside it. And since musicians aren't very creative, we called it a dotted half note. And then this last one over here, I hope you guys can see that. That's called a whole note. Okay, so we got quarter note, half note, dotted half note, and whole note. And basically, a quarter note, here I'll use a different color pen. So, a quarter note gets one beat, okay? A half note gets 2 beats. A dotted half note gets 3 beats. And then a whole note, whole note gets 4 beats. Okay, so there isn't really a simple way to understand this. It's mostly just remembering what they are and then how many beats they get. An easy way to remember the whole note is, well, number one, it's like, a hole. It looks like a hole. And then the actual beats it gets, you could just think of it as it gets the whole measure. When we talk about beats, we talk about numbers. So if you get confused by the word beat, just think of numbers. So a quarter note gets 1 number, half a note takes 2 numbers, a dotted half note takes 3 numbers, and a whole note takes 4 numbers. And when we talk about the time signature, like, oh, we got to count to 3 beats in this measure or to 4, think of the whole note as getting every single number in that measure. It takes the whole thing. So quarter note, let's go over this one more time. Okay, quarter note gets 1 beat, half note gets 2 beats, dotted half note gets 3 beats. So basically a half note has 2 beats, right? The dot essentially is just adding a beat, and since what's 2 plus 1? Well, 2 plus 1 is 3, so you're going to take the 2 beats and then you're going to add the dot, which is going to give you 3 beats. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and then whole note is 4 beats. But don't ever get this dot mixed up with a dot. Let's pretend we have a quarter note. Whoops. Yeah, okay, here's a quarter note. Let's pretend we have a quarter note and there's a dot under it. Don't ever get it mixed up with this dot. This dot is a staccato, and that means to play bouncy. If the dot's beside it, it means you hold it for, the actual definition of that dot is, for this one, is you hold it for half of the amount that it originally got. So it's kind of like math. I just tell you guys to add a beat instead of actually doing the math, because if you actually wanted to do the math, it would be, okay, well, a dotted half note gets 2 beats. Half of 2 is 1, so you're going to add on that half, so 2 plus 1 is 3. If this confuses you, don't worry. You don't have to know that. Just know that the dot, you're just adding a beat. That's it. That's all it really is. You're just adding a beat for the half note. So yeah, now that we got the types of notes, let's look at this now. So I'll actually cover this up. Let's look at the first one. So the first one, the thing we always look at first is the time signature. It's 4/4 time. That means we get 4 beats per measure. So here's a measure and here's a measure. That means for each measure, you're going to count all the way up to 4. And then the bottom 4 tells you that the quarter note gets 1 beat. So this quarter note is going to take one number. Okay, so I wrote the notes up here so that I could use this bottom space to actually write down the numbers. So the way you would count it, let's look back. So since this one's a quarter note, we know over here that a quarter note gets one beat. So, or actually maybe I'll have this down here like that. Okay, so we know that a quarter note gets one beat, meaning it's going to take one number. So it takes the first number, because we got to count to 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it took the first number, so 1's crossed off. Now we still have 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this one is a half note. And we know that a half note gets 2 beats. So we already got rid of this number. Now it gets 2 beats, meaning it's going to take the next 2 numbers. So that 2, 3 is going to go here. So 2, 3. And then this one is also a quarter note. It's going to take one number. So that's going to take the last number. So now this last number is going to go here. It's going to take the last number 4. So quarter note gets one number, half note gets 2 numbers, and quarter note gets one number. And then you just count to 4, and then you basically, this one goes here, this gets the next 2 numbers, and then this gets the last number. Now, this one is a whole note. So right there, whole note. Whole notes get 4 beats. So if we counted to 4 again, let's say we put 1, 2, 3, 4 down here, we get 4 beats, meaning all 4 numbers are going to go to this whole note. So it's going to get all 4. So if we wanted to count that, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you wanted to count and clap it, it would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now let's look at the next example. So this next example right here, let's see. Okay. So this next example, let's look at this time signature. So this time it's 3/4 time, meaning we're going to count up to 3. So let's just already right now count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and then for this measure 1, 2, 3. Okay, and once again, the 4 is on the bottom, which tells you that the quarter note gets 1 beat. So first of all, let's look at this. That's a half note, that's a quarter note, and this is a dotted half note because it has a dot beside it. So let's remind ourselves, the half note gets 2 beats, so then this is going to get 2 numbers. So the first 2 numbers go to this half note, so 1, 2. And then this is a quarter note gets 1 beat, so the last number is going to go here. And then since this is a dotted half note, it gets 3 beats. So all 3 numbers are going to go to this note. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So if we wanted to count this one, it would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if we wanted to count and clap, it would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now if we look at this example, so now let's cover this one up. So if we look at this example, the time signature is 2/4 time now, meaning we count all the way up to 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So there, we got our numbers. Okay, now the bottom 4 once again tells us that the quarter note gets 1 beat. Since these are both quarter notes, they're each going to get 1 number. So this number goes here. So now we don't have a 1 anymore. The 1 is over there. Now this 2, this quarter note is going to take that 2. It's going to go there. And this is a half note, and we know that half notes get 2 beats. So both numbers, because there's 2 numbers there, so both numbers are going to go here. So that's how you look at it. You basically just transfer the numbers and put it on there. And then this last one, last example, it's kind of a test. I put a bunch of examples into this one. So it's 4/4 time, so we count up to 4 in every single measure, and then the quarter note gets 1 beat. So I'll use a different color pen for this one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 for this measure. 1, 2, 3, 4 for this measure, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for this measure. Okay? Now, since this is a dotted half note, that means we get 3 numbers. So these first 3 numbers are going to go to this note. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's too much purple. Too much purple. Okay, I'm going to use my highlighter. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's pretty. Okay? And now this last number goes to the quarter note because the quarter note gets 1 beat. So it's going to get this 1 number. So it's going to go there. Now we know that each quarter note is going to get 1 number to itself. So this one is done. It goes here. Now this gets the next number. This gets the next number. And this gets the next number. Okay? And we know a whole note gets 4 beats. So it gets 4 numbers. Okay, so it's going to take all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we know that this is a half note, so it's going to take 2 numbers. So we got the first 2 numbers, which is 1 and 2, and we put it here, 1, 2. And then we have this half note, which gets another 2 numbers, so it's going to take the next 2, which is 3 and 4. And the 3 and 4 is going to go here. Okay, so now if we try to count this, it would be 1, 2. Uh-oh, I just saw a mistake. So this gets 1 number, but the number is 4, not 1. Whoops. Okay, so if we counted this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we wanted to count and clap, it would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is just for the notes. I'll put up another video. I'll put up another video soon about rests if you guys want any. If you guys need any videos about understanding rest, then I'll put one up. But if you guys don't, then I won't. Okay, I hope you understand it. If you guys want more practice questions, or if you guys still don't really understand the whole concept of taking the numbers and assigning them to each note, then I'll put up another video with more examples and I'll go more in depth with them.